Is nuisance covered under tort law in the United States? Have you ever wondered if nuisance falls under tort law in the United States? This is a great question, and the answer is yes, it certainly does. Nuisance is recognized as a tort, which means it addresses issues related to the use and enjoyment of land. There are two main types of nuisance: private nuisance and public nuisance, each with its own characteristics. Private nuisance occurs when one person's use of their property significantly and unreasonably interferes with another person's ability to use or enjoy their own property. To prove a private nuisance claim, the person affected must show a few key things. First, they need to have a possessory interest in the land that is impacted. Second, they must demonstrate that the other party did something that interfered with their use and enjoyment of their property. Lastly, the interference must be both substantial and unreasonable. This means that the disruption would be annoying or offensive to a reasonable person, and it takes into account various factors like the nature of the harm and whether the harm is ongoing. Common examples of private nuisance include excessive noise from a neighbor, pollution, unpleasant odors, vibrations, or too much light that disrupts someone's peaceful enjoyment of their home. On the other hand, public nuisance involves interference with rights that are common to the public or public property. This could include things like polluting waterways or creating health hazards that affect a community as a whole rather than just one individual property owner. From the perspective of personal injury law, nuisance claims often come into play when someone's health or well-being is compromised due to another person's unreasonable use of their property. The affected person must show actual harm or damages, which can include physical injuries, financial losses, or a decrease in property value. When it comes to remedies for nuisance cases, courts typically award compensatory damages for the losses suffered. If the nuisance is ongoing, the courts may also issue injunctions that requiring the offending party to stop the harmful activity. Courts consider the social utility of the defendant's actions when deciding on liability and remedies. Sometimes, they may allow a nuisance to continue if the benefits outweigh the harm caused. There are also defenses that can be raised against nuisance claims. These include contributory negligence, where the affected person may have contributed to the harm, assumption of risk, or coming to the nuisance, which means the person moved near an existing nuisance. Compliance with local regulations can also serve as a defense. In summary, nuisance is indeed covered under tort law in the United States. It serves to protect property owners' rights to enjoy their land without unreasonable interference, and it has practical implications in personal injury law when such interference leads to harm or loss.